Hello, this is me. I'm going to see NOSFERATU. I'm going to do a little video over there, so I thought it would be a fun thing for me to do to get dressed up in a little bit of an outfit and a makeup moment. Oh god, I can't do this. This freaking, the light is crazy. That's insane. What am I supposed to do with that? You know what, fuck it, we ball. So, I'm thinking that the idea I wanted to go with for NOSFERATU, considering it is a vampire film, I wanted to do like a sort of very decrepit face, inspired by a photo that I will clip in here of me when I was a bit younger. And I managed to do this little contour situation where I made myself look like gaunt, starving, and disgusting. And that's kind of what I want to go for this when I go and see the film by myself, because that's really exciting for me. So I'm going to do that to the best of my abilities and make myself look as shit as possible. And then on the, but like apart from that, like neck down, I want to do like very fierce, like leather skirt, like clad in fur a little bit, because he has like a little, like a fur thingamabob in the film. So that's kind of what I'm going for, because I thought like the juxtaposition of that is kind of funny. So that's what I'm going to go with today. I think I don't know what I'm going to use for the makeup really, because this look I did a very long time ago. I have this ivory foundation that I used way back when. I bought it. With the first foundation I ever bought, and I've never used it. So I think it's not going to look that good, which kind of might add to the energy. I'm going to be honest, in my entire time of owning brushes, I lie to people and say that I've cleaned them for the sake of not being judged. But in full truth and honesty, I've never cleaned them a day in my life, and I've had them for upwards of like 5 years. So this is me being candid and honest about my struggle at this place in time. So I hope that you could ever forgive me for such a thing. To unpack something that's kind of problematic, but like I'm gonna laugh about it because that's how I do this. That'll do. I'm so hungry, so I'm very excited to get snacks and things like that. And in lead up to this video, I was like, oh, I could probably, like, because I went food shopping today. I was like, hold on, I need to, actually, before I unpack this, I'm gonna get a headband. Do I have anything? Not really. It's okay, I'll just do it. But like, I feel like there's a lot of real estate up there that I'm gonna have to cover. So when I push my bangs up to deal with that, don't be a dick about it. So, got my little drugstore foundation. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I went food shopping today and got all my stuff together. Actually, I'm not gonna look at you, I'm gonna look at the mirror, that's gonna be easier for me. I'm gonna use a lot of white here. But yes, so I went shopping today, and in lead up to this video, I was like, oh, I could probably eat something because I'm really hungry and haven't eaten anything all day, right? But what has stopped me from eating is that I am in a very cute outfit where my midriff shows. And I think a lot of people, specifically women, can relate to the idea that I'm putting forward, that I chose not to eat because I felt like I look better, where you can't see as much of like my chub, so to speak, which is fine. Like I know everyone really kind of has this conception, and this is something I'm going to talk to my therapist about. I'm going to my first therapy session tomorrow, actually. So that's kind of huge. But yeah, like, do as I say, not as I do, because I am aware that I do this and it's wrong and it's bad and I shouldn't do it, but it doesn't really stop me from doing it. But I don't know. I think it's pretty common to be aware of that sort of behavior. But we trot on. I mean, I like minorly struggled with like, to be real, like when I moved to Sydney. So history of my life to anybody who doesn't know. So I moved to Sydney in about mid-June of 2023. So, because I wanted to get out there and explore my new life and be a baddie in Sydney, which is, I think, totally fair and wonderful, and it's very much the actor's dream to go to Sydney and make it in the industry and see what life is like out there. I've got the foundation on. Yeah, so I went to Sydney, and it was really hard being over there because you think that you're going to go there and slay with this built-up confidence that you have from other parts of your life, and then you get there, and everyone in Sydney is so put together and attractive and conventionally so, in a way that I felt I'd never described myself as. So it was kind of difficult to be in that space, to be totally honest. So that drove me to accentuate some disordered habits with eating, which is, you know, it's hard. It's hard because, I mean, I was also kind of by myself there. So it's hard not to feel inferior when there's nobody there, like in person, to really give that energy to you and tell you that you are good enough. So if anybody's watching this and feels like they're not good enough, I have been there, and your outlook on it does change a little bit over time. But it's a journey. You take it one thing at a time. This is already not looking good. This is the look. Love it. So we're gonna like pair this with like a very like fierce outfit, because this outfit that I'm currently wearing is not really giving the NOSFERATU vibes. So I'm gonna turn this camera away and get changed into an outfit that corresponds. So I could be wrong, but I think this outfit is giving, statistically speaking. So we got like a cute little knee high going on. Going on there. My little leather skirt, my corset, and like this little shirt as like a blouse. And lest we forget the makeup. And then I found a friend's hair clip, like a claw, on one of my shells, and now I've just shoved it in the corset, and now it kind of looks like a rose from a distance. But yeah, I actually feel relatively strongly about the look that I've put together. And maybe I'll chuck like a fur onto it. Ooh! I am so sorry to everyone who is not me at this time. But I hope that you do make your peace with who you are truly within yourself. But yeah, so I think this is gonna be the fit, the NOSFERATU fit. The next time I check in with you, it's gonna be in the car. We'll have some more car chats. And then yes, I will return shortly. Welcome to the car. So we are going on a journey, and Jesus Christ, the air conditioner's loud. So we are gonna go starting our journey to go to see NOSFERATU. I have a 6:20 session at the cinema. I really honestly can't tell if what I'm doing here, like my behavior, is illegal. Is it bad that like I have like the camera like here, like facing me like this? Because it's like FaceTime, right? I suppose you're not really meant to have FaceTime on while you drive. So I'm just gonna do my very best to not look at myself, which is difficult because I feel like I look really good. I'm just pulling up to the cinema now. I might take you into the snack bar with me so I can test my resolve about filming in public. I'll take you through the snack bar with me. I'll take you to the ticket. Actually, I can't. There's no point in taking you through the snack bar because I'm not getting any snacks. I just bought my snacks. I've got water as well, so there's nothing I really need. So what I'll do is that I'm gonna take you guys to the ticket thing, to the ticket master. I'll hide you and take you through the cinema, because I feel like if they see me filming on my way into the cinema, they're gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm gonna be like, I'm an influencer. No, I'm an influencer. Like, do you not know who I am? Like, check my account. You'll see how many followers I have. And, like, yeah, like, I'm kind of a big deal. Aww. I just went by this couple. They're hugging. That's so sweet. I hope they die. Is there a parking spot available? There sure is. There sure is. There's a lot of people here, like, just sitting in their cars doing nothing. Scary. I'm pulling up to this far away point. When you go to a parking space and you see the parking sign that says like something P, is that the amount of hours you can be there for? Like maximum? Like a maximum amount of hours? Maximum parking hours? Am I in this parking space? Hello? Am I even in parking space? I didn't put the park on. I almost drove into a bush. Stop. Stop it. Don't look at my skirts. Stop it. Oh, I am not even in a modicum of the line of the parking space. How did I fuck up that badly? There was like zero room for error, and I still found it. Okay, I think we did it. I think we did better this time. Okay, let's have a look. Ah! I'm in! Fuck you, you said I couldn't do it. I don't know how allowed, I don't know the guidelines on YouTube for how specifically about like what places you go to. I don't know if those brands then sue you. I don't think I'm important enough to be sued by any respective brand. So I don't think it matters. But let's just say the cinema I'm at rhymes with Savent. Savent. Prices. In this fucking economy? Are you joking? Arrest me. Oh my god, drop my shit. This is really my favorite thing. Oh, hello. I'm good, Elias. How you doing? Yeah, just sort of, yeah.
Yep, 16 on your right. Enjoy it.
Thank you so much. It was fine. It worked out fine. See the way that I immediately put on my social persona? Because I'm a master at hiding my emotions. It's honestly like, people should learn from me. Okay, I'm entering the cinema now, but I gotta say goodbye now. But I hope you have a wonderful time without me. I will be back in a minute to tell you what I thought of the film. Goodbye. Alrighty, we just got out of the film. I haven't said a word to myself or anything, nor to another living soul about this film at this time. So now it is time to discuss all the thoughts, feelings, emotions surrounding the film NOSFERATU that I just watched. So I thought it was good. I thought it was a good movie. I think it was a really good, solid horror movie with a really strong direction. I'll just start with the things that I really liked about the movie. I really, really fucked with the score of the film, just because the grand orchestral, the grand orchestral vibe of it all definitely made the film and elevated it to a place where the danger of it felt very severe, and it felt very alive. Like, it felt very, in a situation like this, where the singular evil is like a vampire or something that could be regarded as like silly, a really grandiose score, I think, really elevates to that level where you feel a similar sense of authority and endangerment coming off of this individual or creature. So I loved the score. So the score was fucking amazing. Lily Rose Depp acts her pussy off in that movie. I'm not just talking about like playing hysterics and doing that kind of thing. Like, I genuinely was like, the way I would never be able to do the things that she does in that film, like the physicality of it, it's the violent shaking, and there's a part in the film, spoilers, but I think everyone's seeing this. It's kind of a meme on the internet that I've seen. It's like where like her eyes are all the way fucking back into her head and her mouth's open, she's drooling and all that kind of shit. I don't know whether that was visual effects or that was genuinely her. If that is the autonomy and control that she has over her face, I am severely impressed. So she was really great. The performances of everybody involved were really great. Like, I all felt that they really belonged to the period of which they were presenting. So that was really strong. Locations and cinematography, amazing. Like, everything was really, really wonderful. Like I just was like, did they build the set? Did they find... There's no way there's a place in the world that still looks like that, unless it's like an attraction of some kind. But I feel like it's probably partly visual effects, and then they went really practical, which is cool, because that's like old school filmmaking and really high scale, high budget filmmaking. It's like what, obviously what Wicked did and Game of Thrones has done, and like what would happen in older movies as well. So it's really cool to see that at the forefront. By the way, I am sorry for the wheel in the frame here, but I don't know where else to put you where it's not gonna be like really far away. But yeah, the locations, the sets were gorgeous, props, costumes, all that, like the actual art and like the world that was built, loved. It was like, it was clear from the start that Robert Eggers, I hope I'm pronouncing the last name properly, had a vision for what he wanted that world to look like and feel like, and it absolutely translated. It was just very, very like clearly thought out. So I cannot fault it for that. I can absolutely not fault it for that whole situation. Yeah, so that would probably be the things that I liked about the movie. It was just a very clear, concise vision, thought out, like they knew exactly what they wanted to do, and that's what they put out there. I feel like that they probably watching the movie back weren't like, oh, I just wish I did this differently, or like I feel like I didn't really feel like I thought that through. I felt like it was very clear. What I didn't so much like about the movie, not much about, there's not much technical stuff. The only technical thing, this could be an issue with the cinema and the sound in the cinema, but I felt the way NOSFERATU speaks in the film with such gravitas and such depth, and there's so much growl in it, there's so much bass in it, that I felt a little bit that
I just couldn't understand anything he was saying, really. And that sucks, because I felt like the performance being given was really quite something. Like, it was very cool. Also an example of, like, the old school filmmaking. I think that that's a real person behind that. I actually don't know who played Nosferatu in the film. I'll look that up afterwards. But, whoever played him, well done. You very much, that is quite the voice over there. Nosferatu in the film, I will say, he's quite sexy. And I don't know if that was the intended effect, but, like, Nosferatu, like, old Nosferatu was, like, kind of like a hairless rat. Pointy ears, like, no hair, like, a little bit of, like, eyeshadow or something going on, and just was kind of, like, skinny in stature, just, like, kind of waddled around. Was not necessarily super imposing by today's standards. I'm sure back then it was quite, like, a thing. But yeah, he's very, like, he's tall and has this deep voice and this mustache. And the way that he, like, the way he's, like, having this sort of, like, moment where he's seducing Lily Rose Depp's character to, like, to let him, like, be with her and become one with her. It's really quite, like, seducing. It's quite seductive. And that's, like, I feel like that's quite weird. But I don't think I'm alone in thinking this, because I've seen things about that, about, like, it's like a Nosferatu hear me out thing. But, like, he's generally, like, at the end there's this quite wild frame where he's on top of Lily Rose Depp's character, and he's just all bony and shit, and, like, he kind of looks how, like, I expected to look, but the legs are stick thin, and that was really quite a bizarre visual. But, you know, we like people for the sum. We like people not for the sum of their parts, I believe is how you say it. But yeah, he's quite sexy. Like, I don't know, like, there was something weirdly, like, entrancing and, like, alluring about him as he's, like, talking and, I don't know, going throughout the film. He's just generally quite an alluring individual, because they've just made him so, like, tall and mysterious and crazy. So yeah, I thought that was a fun aspect of it. Whether or not it was intentional, I think that was a really fun aspect that, like, you know, I was like, I didn't think I had a thing for, like, I watched Twilight, never really thought I had a thing for vampires, but here we are in this moment. And I love that for me, and that's my truth, and that's my journey, and that's valid. So, that was fun. Talking about things I don't like. I just think this is more just an emotional connection thing, and this isn't necessarily the fault of the film. And I don't know whether this was tied, because there was a point in the film where I kind of, like, fell asleep a little bit for, like, 20 minutes. During, like, a scene where they were probably doing some explaining about, like, disease, like, the plague that's going on in the film and all that. But, yeah, I just, like, there was a point where I just, like, felt like I was dozing off. And I think that partly has to do with the fact that tonally the film is very just the same, pretty much across the board. Not to say that it's boring. There were pretty much always pretty exciting things visually, story-wise going on. But it's, like, the costumes are dark. Like, the atmosphere is dark, the composition of the fucking shots is dark, like, the language is dark, the sound is very, like, quiet, dark. So, like, when it's so tonally, like, the same, I did kind of find that it was, like, it was just, like, it felt like, I don't know, it felt like I was just watching a very similar journey throughout the thing. But, you know, I can't properly classify whether that's the fault of the film or not. But I think it's just a not for me thing, that kind of thing. I did get, like, after my 20-minute nap, I think I got jolted back into it by something. I can't really remember. I think it was, like, another one of Lily Rose Depp's, like, freak out moments, and I was, you know, back in. Quite loud. The movie was loud. But I don't mind that. Really kept me, you know, engaged. So I feel that, yeah, tone, unfortunately, I struggled to really connect with the film emotionally and be invested and really care. Like, I didn't really care when Lily Rose Depp's character died at the end. I didn't really care when, like, he was in that situation. Because the way that Nicholas Holt's character, effectively the lead, along with Lily Rose Depp's character, I would say, he is given the opportunity to go sell a house to a very influential man, goes to a castle very far away. Turns out that castle belongs to Nosferatu, and, like, shit happens at that castle. And the way that those scenes are edited, it's, like, very much like time blends together. And I see what they were going for there, but it did definitely feel... It just made the pacing really weird and made it kind of difficult to understand what was real and what wasn't. And maybe that was the intention there, but, like, because a lot of the horror that comes from it comes in dreams, and the characters are dreaming about things and having visions of stuff of Nosferatu and things that are to come. And so your sense of reality isn't exactly grounded. And that can be really interesting. It's just, it made it difficult to actually understand any things that were going on at times because of that. Because I never really understood what was real. And I found that the visions and Lily Rose Depp's freakouts and all that kind of stuff, it got a little repetitious. Like, she's like, you know, like, she's talking about something, then she freaks out. She's talking about something, then she freaks out. She's talking about something, then she freaks out. And then she's freaking out all the way up until the end, when she's actually able to, like, I don't know, compose herself and not be afraid, and which is a good arc. But, I found that I found that it was a little bit, I just found that, like, part was a little bit repetitious. I don't know, yeah. So, I unfortunately just failed to connect, really, to the story. I was very much impressed by the film, by what it was trying to put across, and I'm sure the people who are really into, like, gothic horror would fucking eat that movie up 100%. And maybe I would have eaten that movie up as well, given that I would have eaten that movie up maybe if I wasn't tired, or maybe if I hadn't fallen asleep for that moment and it broke my momentum. But I didn't really feel like I was tired going into that movie. I felt very, like, ready and excited to view it. And so I don't want to really say that that was me. I kind of felt like the film got me to that place, because I didn't really, and because of the sound though, and me not really understanding what people were saying, and I have to be really, really close attention to what people were saying to actually understand what was going on in the story. It just, like, I felt, like, really in the dark, like, about what was going on. And that could be a cinema issue, but that's just the experience that I had. And yeah, a lot of characters cry, a lot of characters yell, a lot of characters... There was a part in the story where, like, she, like, is taunting Nicholas Holt's character. I didn't really get what was going on in this scene. It's the scene where her eyes roll into the back of her head and she's like, I don't know if she's getting possessed or something. And then she's like, show Nosferatu how much we love each other, because he is in love with her. Nosferatu is in love with her. And so she is saying, like, let's show him how much we're in love. So this really tense scene where he's, like, crying because she's having an absolute freak out and is doing the most bizarre things. She then, like, kneels down to, like, his crotch, and then they start fucking. And I was a little bit like, what? I don't know. It's moments like that where people take big swings, and I'm just, like, thinking, like, is that really it? Is that really what... Well, obviously it's not what would happen, because it's not really suspended in reality, but it was just a bit of, like, a step in a weird direction for me. But it did add a level of, like... it did change the script up, or change the events of the movie to an extent where I was like, oh, this is something interesting going on, so let me watch that and tune into that. And the film certainly didn't pull its punches in terms of events and things that would occur. I found, as far as the horror goes, it was very jump scare reliant. I never really felt scared of, I just knew how loud the film was, so I was just scared of when something loud was going to occur, but nothing ever really built like a sense of suspense for me personally. Not in the same way like a film like Babadook really does. Babadook just made me like shitting myself just watching the scenes, just waiting for something to happen. Because like the idea of the film was very scary to me, as opposed to this where it's just the sound was really scary. So I was kind of, when scary things were like on the verge, I was in anticipation, but just to kind of block my ears because it just was going to get really loud. But not necessarily because I found what was actually going to occur or the environment surrounding what was about to occur scary. Which is fine. Yeah, so a little jump scare reliant, little monotone in terms of its vibe. And yeah, but they definitely didn't pull their punches in terms of like brutality. Like there wasn't necessarily anything that made me go, whoa, that's brutal. But there were like shocking things, like when Nosferatu does like murder like 2 children in the film, and you do see that in the film, and so that was pretty like wild. Like I was like, oh wow, that's like, you know, that's edgy, you know, that's a fun thing. Like not all films are confident enough to show that, but I did get that vibe from the start of the film that I felt like it wasn't really going to pull its punches in terms of brutality, and it didn't, which I can respect, which is really cool, because doing that sort of gore and stuff, doing like that many layers of gore and paying attention to those scenes when you could just as easily cut away, it's a lot of money. And the film certainly had budget. But yeah, I think that I really enjoyed parts of the film. I think that I was just very impressed by the film. I very much enjoyed like witnessing the vision of it all. I liked that a lot. Technically it was great. I could never say that the film's bad. It's definitely not bad. It's definitely worth seeing and witnessing like the pinnacle of gothic horror. It's really like the perfect gothic horror experience I can imagine. Maybe because that's just not for me. I didn't necessarily connect with it. So I would say great movie in terms of a technical aspect. If like you want to see like a really good, well-budgeted horror film that's really well thought out, really great. Just my negatives in terms of it are I just didn't feel like the world was built, or the characters or the world was built to a point where it paid attention to the aspect of caring for them and having stakes involved in wanting them to survive this ordeal. Where the world was built in various successful other ways, just I don't think particularly in that way. But I absolutely would recommend it to other people. And I'm glad that I went and saw it. And now I may or may not have like a vampire fetish of some kind. Like, I think maybe I need to go out and get me like a 6-foot lanky like man. But I am thankful for the sexual awakening it provided in me. That was really nice of them to give that to me. A wonderful welcome into the new year. But yeah. I would give it a solid 7 out of 10. Great experience. Regardless, that is going to close off my journey for today of this Nosferatu journey vlog of some kind. But thank you so much for tagging along with me on this journey. I don't know what I will be doing next. Maybe I'll arrange a vision board in my room. Maybe I'll go see another movie. I don't know. But regardless, whoever's tuning in, thank you for doing so. And whoever's not tuning in, well, you won't know. But bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening. And yeah, bye.